Peninsula Interfaith Action, or PIA, is working to build bridges between communities, especially between communities of new immigrants and longtime U.S. residents. One approach that PIA is taking to bridge these gaps is to support individuals from different communities in sharing their personal stories with each other.
One of the things I particularly love about PIA is the opportunity it's given me to make friends with people from other communities, the racial, ethnic, and cultural communities. And it's been, I am fond of saying that it has colored my life in a very positive way.
I don't have nothing against stats and percentages at the city level, state level, country level. But when you can go in the community and talk to a person who has an issue, and you can say, it shouldn't be that way, and you put that person in front of legislation, they can hear that story, and they realize, no, that person shouldn't have to go through that.
You know, I mean, I've just had friends who were totally extreme, you know, right, and they have moved, you know, completely to, you know, because they've had these relationships and they realize that these are the people that make up a country, that make up America.
In our busy world, it is hard to take the time to get to know new people. Each of us must make some assumptions about others. However, we know that only some of our assumptions are right, and that some of them are wrong.
And one of them was a very good friend that I made several years ago, who is Latina. And I learned on one of our long drives to Sacramento that she had been unfairly incarcerated for several years. It demonstrated for me that the judicial system here does not necessarily support the truth, and that it is true that those people who can afford really good legal representation are the ones that have the best chance of being heard.
Lo quiero, lo estimo mucho al Señor. Nos ha podido guiar durante toda esta travesía que hemos tenido para obtener esta póliza. Una persona que tiene mucha sabiduría, mucha sapiencia en realidad. Él es americano, pero de descendencia de alemanes y de otra cultura más que no recuerdo cuál es, si mal no recuerdo, pero es un personaje y en realidad, a pesar que he tenido la oportunidad de conversar en mi limitado inglés, pienso que es un gran personaje, ¿no? El hombre.
We need to be more connected and talk more with each other, you know, with all the board members, you know, the white people, the Jewish people, you know, the African Americans, everybody who is there, you know, we need to have a serious discussions about, you know, why is this important?
By learning the stories behind other people's lives, we gain a broader understanding of our own world. We become better informed about the causes and effects of decisions that affect all of us.
While immigration and immigration reform are not direct local issues within our rather homogeneous community, it is a critically important issue to many of our fellow PIA congregations. And so by knowing people in these communities, it has made me and many of my Betham brethren, partners, more concerned about the injustice of our current immigration policies or lack thereof.
Young lady was talking about how she had been educated in our public schools here in America, educating our public schools, and was on her way to college. And she was brought here as a child. She was brought to America as a child by her parents. And now she's in college, and her parents were being threatened to be deported.
We have to do better than that. You cannot separate families, especially when you take the breadwinner, the one who makes the money, the one who pays the bill, and you take that out of the household. Now you got nobody making money, or you got youth now trying to support their family. So now that youth is not getting educated. It's just one spiraling bad incident after another.
You know, that's a sad scenario. And those kind of scenarios and stories we ought not be hearing in America. And so there ought to be a pathway for her parents, and as well as for herself. So I think it begins with just hearing and understanding and developing our compassion and a greater capacity of compassion, and then responding by faith.
PIA will continue encouraging individuals to really get to know each other's stories, to learn what makes them tick, and to gain inspiration from the hope that they bring for our common future.